the world. And let's welcome Sarah and Massimiliana. This is Italian family of Worldscholers, and they have 3 kids, and they are traveling. Actually, they will tell us by themselves their story of traveling. How long you are traveling? Why did you become the Worldschooler? Why did you decide? What is the story behind this? Tell us, please.
We actually never decided. It was something that fall in along the way where we were traveling.
Well, the travel started because we went to Mexico. No, to Thailand. Sorry, we were talking about Mexico before. We went to Thailand on a trip because Mas was doing a workshop, and he just insisted that we take out the kids from school, which the break had just finished. And I was like, oh, they're going to miss these 2 valuable weeks of school. And he said, who cares? Let's do it. Let's do it. You just come, you hang out with the kids, and I do my workshop. And the teachers are like, you totally should go. They learn so much more by going, seeing places and staying here at a desk. So we took the kids to Thailand, and he did his workshop, and we would have a few days off with him. And during one of these days, the kids were like, well, I wish we could see more. And so we looked at each other. We're like, well, what if we sell everything and we just go and travel? And a year after we did.
When it was?
2017.
17.
So you are traveling for 4 years now.
Well, we left in 2018, but we took a year to do everything, sell our house, our cars, our businesses.
Before we were just traveling like other people.
Yeah.
Like we were waiting for the vacation time and go and travel. We like to travel. And we've been traveling by ourselves before meeting each other. And actually our story, it's even before that, because in 2000, we did it 2 times. Because we didn't understand, right? The first time, so we need the second time to do it again. So everything happened in 2010, the first time. When we left Italy the first time, we sold everything with 2 kids at that time.
Babies.
You sold everything in 2010 with 2 kids.
Like, let's go live somewhere else.
We sold, we have a good job. So because many people think, oh, you didn't have a good job and you want to leave and find your fortune somewhere else. It wasn't like that, because I was a physical therapy working at the hospital, and she has her own business in Italy. And we decided, like, you know what, let's sell everything and do something crazy and move. And that was the first time, 2010.
And we moved to the US.
Emma, she was only 2 months old at that time. And we decided to move to the US without knowing anything, because I was thinking that I knew English. When I got there, I was completely without words.
He couldn't order a coffee.
Nothing. It was a crash. And the first 6 months were tough, especially with the kids, because we have to rebuild everything from zero. And I had to find the job. She has to find the job. We have to raise the kids. We have to find the house. I have to learn English. And so it was a challenge. And that was the first time, I think, we start unrooting and unschooling ourselves and put ourselves out
without knowing it.
Yeah, out of the comfort zone. That was the beginning, I think, this whole thing that we are doing right now.
Yeah, then we got very comfortable in our reality, and that's when we were like, oh, let's just sell everything again and do this. And so 2018 we left, and it was a 1-year trip. We were just going to go 1 year, see a bunch of places, everything that was on our bucket list, or as much as we could, and then come back and buy a house somewhere else and start over.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 1-year adventure.
After we were in New Zealand on a beach, with a camper. We had rented a camper. We were sitting on this beach, and we're like, what if we just keep on doing this and not stop? What if this is actually really cool, and it's cheaper, because it's cheaper to travel than to actually live in your own home, because you have so many more expenses and you just buy a lot of crap all the time. Instead, when you're traveling, you can't because you don't have any room, and you're more focused on experiencing the world than actually buying everything you find, or at least for us, some maybe do. But and so we decided, let's just keep on going. And so this year became now 3 years.
We check with our kids first if they want to do it.
It was a joint
if they feeling
decision
to do it, and we realized doing that we are the problem, not them, because the kids, they adapt.
They're just everywhere.
We realized
we're the ones with all the fears.
Yes.
And we get in a new country, we're like, okay, so we have to see how this is. They just kind of get in the whatever it is, hotel room or camper or a house, whatever, and they just like, okay, we're home now.
They adapt very easily. We have hard time because we have all this mindset, a belief system coming from our past, let's say, and it took us 2 years on the road to get out of this mindset and belief system and be adaptive like our kids. It's crazy, but as soon as we change, the kids, boom, completely change.
Yeah. They teach you.
So, do you have any base now, any home, any place which you will go? No.
Well, we just have a camper. We bought a camper. We when the first lockdown happened, we were traveling. We were actually running away from it without realizing it, because when the whole thing started coming out, we were in the Philippines. And then we were going to Thailand for the third time. And there it was picking up a little bit. And then we flew to Bhutan, where it wasn't nothing special. But as we were leaving 2 days before, there was the first case. And so like the tourists were seeing, from being very loved from the people of Bhutan, they were scared of them because, you know, it's a small country. And so they were scared that the tourists were going to bring this disease. And then we got to Nepal, where things were still kind of normal. I mean, they talked about it, but we also did the Holy Fest. And then we did our little tour of Nepal. We went on the Annapurna circuit. We did a few things. And
I saw the videos from Nepal and this beautiful festival with the colors. And it's so wow.
And you're like, what? That was, I think, the last time they did it because of the whole thing going on. So then we were we had our flight out to Japan for 2 days after, and they canceled our flight. And that was the end of our normal travels because we got stuck in Nepal, which was a blessing, but we were stuck there for 3 months. And the only way we could get out was through a rescue flight. So we ended up getting because we have dual citizenship, so we got a rescue flight to Italy. We decided we did not want to travel by plane for a while because of all the masks
restriction
and all that.
and everything, especially for kids.
And so we bought a camper van in Italy, and we've been traveling with it. We did end up getting some other planes in the past months, but right now that's our only house, is our camper van.
We found out that it was the easiest way right now in this current situation, that if you want to continue traveling, if you go by land, I want to say there is less problem.
Yeah.
Because if you start arriving in the airport, the rules are different. You don't know what's going on. Instead, by land for right now,
still doable.
Yes. And since all these weird moment happened everywhere, we were able to avoid to do the test
for over a year and a half.
Yes, we got only one PCR test
just a few months,
and that's
2 months ago, because we ended up flying back to the US, and coming back to get our camper, we had to do a PCR test from Mexico.
Yes.
But
that's it. So it's 3 years that we traveled, and we managed to have only one PCR test, and that's it.
Now we're gonna go towards Turkey, so we're gonna have to get another one.
So I want to
you are going now in Turkey.
Yes, well, soon.
Yes,
in a few weeks.
So we are currently we are in Macedonia, and we're gonna cross to. The idea is to cross to Greece, stay like a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks in Greece.
Let's see how it is.
While we traveling the coastline to reach Turkey.
Okay. And what it is there in Greece? Do you have an idea?
No, Greece is we're not sure because we want to see how the situation is because we're just in Albania where it's like you breathe because it's normal. It's like nothing ever happened.
Yes.
And so we came here and they started with some restrictions and it's already getting a little stressful. The country is amazing, but we don't really like to be so restricted. So we have to see how Greece is. If it's very, there's many restrictions, right? We might just be quicker.
We had different opinion because along the way we met with different family and people that they travel by van like us. And some of them, they have a good experience in Greece and they didn't have any problem. Some of them, they had some problem. So let's see.
We're not sure yet. But
we are really easy going.
Camper anyway, it's a good idea because if you have any issues, you just go back with your camper and you go just on the side. You just take another route. But if you are flying, you're stuck.
Yeah, that was our thought when we decided to do this. And then when they say you can't eat here because you don't have a vaccination, we just go to a camper center and who cares?
You just go grocery and you eat in your camper.
You still can go grocery shopping without vaccination. So
yeah.
You know what I feel? I feel that now has to be new kind of coffee shops, restaurants, etc., for those who are not vaccinated. So if they don't allow people to eat in these places which are already open, so the new kind of places, maybe the new kind of places will be finally somehow.
That would be a great idea. I think we would find a lot of people there because there's more than we think.
Yes, exactly. I have a friend of mine in Turkey and he left Dubai. He said it is luxury, it is beautiful, all good, but it is impossible. It is a police state. And he bought flat in Antalya. Antalya, is it the proper name?
Yeah, Antalya.
He bought there several flats and he lives there and he's renting all these flats and he's very happy in Turkey. But that's it.
We'll see. We're going there, so we'll tell you in a few months.
We keep you posted what happens.
Yes, please keep us. And what about Italy?
Yeah, Italy. It's
Italy.
I still have my parents, and we have a lot of friends there, and we talk to them constantly, at least like 2-3 times a week. And most people since last year, unfortunately, they are afraid and they never left Italy. So they do all the vacation in Italy because they are afraid that if they go out, they have a hard time to go back in, or if they lock the country again, they don't let them in. And we met actually some Albanian people that they live in Italy and work in Italy, and we talked to them. And they told us that they have a hard time at the border to get out. They ask them a lot of documents, the green pass.
Get out.
Yes, to get out from Italy to go back to Albania for the vacation. And now they did it anyway. And now they're afraid they don't let them inside the country. And they're afraid because if they don't let them inside, they're going to lose their job and they cannot do anything. So, but they don't want to give up the possibility to go back to their country for the vacation.
Also because there's more freedom there.
Yeah.
So, in Australia, no one wants to go out. In Australia, everybody absolutely sure that this is the lucky country. This is the best place to be. Even we are in strict lockdown for 3 months, and now they said 1 month more. And 1 month more, this is what they said. But I believe it will be extended till the new year, maybe after. But everybody seeing that all the world is dying, that the world stopped, and only Australia is fine.
Yes. Didn't you know that COVID goes on vacation too? That's why in the summer everything is open again magically because COVID is on vacation. That's what it feels like. I mean, magically everything reopened between June and July in Europe. Okay, they added restrictions, but still people, I mean, if you look at beaches, they're packed. So where's all this, social distance, all this blah, blah, blah that Oh, and then we can go in restaurants.
Yeah, we just left the campsite on the other side of the lake.
It was packed.
And it was literally camper van too close to the camper van, too close to another camper van. And everybody, they were like so attached together. And
But then you can't go eat at the restaurant. You know, it's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And there is no social distance in the restaurants either. So it's kind of, because you're vaccinated, so you don't need the social distance. It's just
weird situation. Yeah, fortunately.
And we've seen this many places in the past months where you wonder why people don't question the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
You don't let you do some things, but then here we are all in a big line attached together, you know, whatever. And
we have been like Slovenia, Croatia, Albania, Montenegro, now Macedonia, and every place was the same, exactly the same.
Yeah, beaches packed.
Every campsite we went, there were like so many people. Every restaurant or every grocery shop, and most of the people, they didn't wear the mask, and
or under their nose,
or under their nose. It's like or under their chin.
But what's sad about this situation is for the kids, because what we have noticed, our kids, since we started this lifestyle, are very good at connecting right away with other kids. They'll go up with no shame, especially the youngest, and just say, hey, I want to be friends. Let's play or whatever. And they don't speak the same language. Who cares? They'll still do it. But unfortunately, right now, there is so much fear in some places, in some situations, that it's not as easy as it used to be. A lot of kids parents don't let them talk to,
it's the parents, it's not the kid.
And so also for us that we are, you know, helping our kids to kind of have this freedom to not, or this ability not to judge the skin color, the religion or whatever, and limit their way of being with other kids and adults in general. But then you have these walls due to this whole new COVID thing that kind of, we don't understand, our kids don't understand. We were at a beach last summer in Italy, and this is one of the most sad stories for us, because it was like in the morning, Luca was playing with this lady sitting close to us with her grandkids. They were playing all together, and he was super happy. They had a bunch of beach toys. And then after they left for lunch, and this other family showed up with toys, and Luca went up and started playing with the toys, thinking, okay, they'll play with me. And they just all stared at him like he was this weird alien. So then I kind of got him back, because I realized that those were the weird ones. And and Luca after came and said, Mommy, can I actually go play with the kids? So I said, well, go ask first. So he asked the grandmother, and she said, no, you can't. He was so sad. He was
unbelievable. They are traveling with kids, and they don't allow their kids to communicate with. So it is okay to travel, but it is not okay to communicate with people.
Yeah. So he comes up to me. He's like, Mommy, the grandma said no. Why can't I play with the kids? So that was like the most painful thing to witness. And that's like a summary of what the reality is right now.
Yeah.
But then you find a lot of normal families. We just met a family in Albania from Germany. Only the mother spoke English. The kids spoke nothing of English, barely understood. They all played together for 2 days, like never stopped playing.
They couldn't stop playing.
The parents were fine with us, and the kids just had so much fun. So then you have these, and you're like, oh, okay, there still is normality in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what we want for our kids, to have this ability to not limit themselves because, you know, we don't speak the same language, or we don't have a same view of the world, or we don't have to follow the same religion. Who cares? We're just playing. It's fun.
We try to drop as much as we can all these like whole the belief system and mindset and keep everything in as much clear and open as possible.
The biggest joke right now is every time we cross the border, because they're like,
oh yeah.
what's the difference? It's the same land. Why are we doing all this big, we stop here, show our passport, stop here.
Yeah.
The guy says, you don't have this, you can't come in. Why? It's the same land. It's land. And it's fascinating because for us, it's all normal because we grew up with all this stuff.
Yeah.
And here these kids are like, what's the difference? And you're like, I don't know.
I don't know.
There is a technical answer, but then if you think about it, you're like, there is no reason. I mean, what changed? Some countries speak the same language. They just decided to divide themselves. Division, that's what they make. Division for everything. And kids don't get that.
Very funny how they say, it is virus in this country, but in this country there is no virus. How we put border for the virus? It's fun.
Yeah, because you know what they say, like here, this guy told us the other day, the cases have been growing. And so now they put the restrictions. Yeah. And I wonder, so in Albania, there is no propaganda there's too many cases. Everybody lives normally. Elderly people usually are the ones that are more scared in other countries. They don't wear a mask. Everything is just normal.
Everybody's outside.
So I don't see any rise of cases. And there was tons of people in Albania. It was packed. But because they don't do the propaganda to make everybody scared, it's just normal. And here it's already they scare them. And so then they're like, let me get vaccinated or stay away. Otherwise, you're going to get me sick. So, but as usual, we end up talking about this.
Yeah, here what they're doing, they are calling all the people for testing. Everybody have to go for testing. With no symptoms, still you have to go for testing. And then every day they announce, today we have 700 cases, 800 cases. But excuse me, we have like 400 people in the whole country in the hospitals. We are 26 million. From this 26 million, 400 are in the hospitals. And no one case of flu. Flu disappeared. We have 0 cases of flu now. No one. And today, sadly, 180 years woman passed away from COVID. Everybody who are passing away, they're appointed now to pass away from COVID. And everybody are scared. Oh my God.
I know.
Maybe because we are isolated on the island, that's why it is so stressful, because we are behind the locked borders. We cannot leave the country.
Yeah, you can't just
leave the country, you have to be dual nation, first of all. And second, you have to prepare a big profile about where you're going, why you go, and blah, 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 blah. It is like, I remember it was in the Soviet Union. When people wanted to leave from the Soviet Union, they could leave only one way, and they had to prepare all their file with the proof where they're going. It is exactly how it works in Australia now. And Australians are very scared, very scared. Yeah. When we are going with my son just for a run near to the beach, they're going for the run near to the beach. People are taking us because we have no masks. So they think we have to run near to the beach in face mask. That's it. Here. Okay, let's talk something more positive. Yeah. How big is your camper van? You're 5.
Oh, it's not big. It's
It's not, just to give you an idea, it's not like an RV in the US. Oh. It's literally a small camper van.
A box.
And like a little truck. Mm-hmm. And there is a bed on top of the main cabin where I drive, and that is, the kids sleep there, and we have another bed in the back.
Tent, or it is the proper?
No, it's a normal.
No, it's covered. It's covered. It's
just a normal
from the structure of the bed.
Okay.
And we got that one, actually, the camper van, because we had different experience throughout the year. When we were in Australia, we rent a camper van.
Three different ones.
Because Australia, it's huge. So in the 3 different places.
And all in lockdown. All country in lockdown now. All country in lockdown. Can you imagine this?
It was very open when we were there.
400 people in hospitals, 26 million in lockdown. Home. Stay home operation. with police and army in the streets, and they're checking that. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. Yes, it had been 3 times. Three camp.
No, so we got this camper van because it
after our experience with different one, we rented like 6 of them, something like that, in different places. Ireland,
New Zealand, Australia.
Anyway, we realized that in the one that we rented, you have to make the bed every night.
One of the beds, so the one in the kitchen. Let's put it that way.
And it was a mess every night to make the bed in the morning, take it off, and prepare the kitchen and everything. So we decided, you know what, let's find a camper van that they have a bed in the front, a bed in the back, so we don't have to make anything. So the kitchen stay the kitchen all the time, and we have these 2 beds that they're ready at night. Wherever we stop, we can go to bed. And we try, I mean, the camper van life, it's more outside.
Yeah.
So we try to go in places that we can stay outside as much as we can. We have bikes, we bike everywhere, and we have table and chair to set it up outside. We have a little like tent attached to the van that it can create shade. So we organize ourselves mostly to stay outside. So we use the van only to sleep at night.
And to move. But we love the fact that we can now bike everywhere, because that was one of the things we missed when we were traveling by plane, that we couldn't get bikes. We've been in we were visiting Croatia during the fall, so there was nobody there except us, and we ended up going on little islands and just move around by bike, which was very, very unique, because there was nobody, so we had all the freedom, and we just biked. We are here in Lake Ohrid now, and we just biked up and down to the downtown area in the past few days. So we don't even need to use the camper to go grocery shopping, because we just take our bikes and we just buy what we need. So it's very relaxed.
Very easy life too.
But we have to say that once you hit the winter, if you're not in the right place, it's a little bit of an issue, because we are too many people in the camper. So we create a lot of
let's say if it's not the cold, if it's rainy outside or snowing or wherever you are, the problem is you have to stay inside, and there is no much space, say living space inside. So
we try to stay as much as we can until it doesn't get really complicated. Then we'll probably just be in a house for the cold,
for a month,
because it gets moldy because of the heat, and the outside it's cold. So then we have a whole mold thing going on in the winter. So last year we ended up getting a house for the holidays.
Yeah,
so
but literally it's a month, because last year when we were in Croatia, actually we were able to stay and swim. I was surprised. We swim until
November,
the 20th of November. It was really nice. And
in Croatia, you swam until the end of November. Really?
Yes. Dubrovnik, yes.
It was cold.
You know what I'm thinking about? Sorry for interrupting you. We are with Nikita, we are filmmakers, and we are also we are street musicians. So we were thinking before that we can travel Europe busking in the streets. So did you see the musicians?
Not as many as we used to.
But because the thing is, the COVID, I think they are afraid to attract people and make it hope or something.
I think you need permits, because we saw them like in London, I remember, but I have a feeling that you need some kind of permit to
right now because of this situation. Because let's give you an example. Some places where we stay, they have half of the service that they used to give to people, or like
here.
Like here, we arrive here. Normally they set a kids club. They have activity throughout the day. They have
entertainment
night. They have a game room. All
2
this
restaurants.
Stuff. It's completely closed. The restaurant at night, they have only one, and the other they are closed. The beach, it's half of the capacity. They don't have all the umbrella and the chair and everything that they used to have. And they cancel everything. The only thing they have open at the hotel, it's the aqua park, and that's it.
which brings people from outside, so it gives them some extra.
But they have a limit. They said yesterday to how many people they can go inside the aquapark too. So it's a weird situation because it depends where you're going and what you want to do. You have to be careful with the rule and regulation, and even the local, they don't know
the rules,
because they said they change every 5 minutes, and we don't know what to do.
But you know what we saw last year when we were in Trieste? We were walking around. There was a market, and there was a couple of like some vans that had the stuff they sold. But there was a couple of camper vans, and like one of them sold all masks. So they were parked there. It's probably their house, and they just pulled out all these masks. They were handmade, and they were selling them. So I don't know. It's probably something you can. And we have some American friends, 2 couples that got their residency in France, and that's where they bought their camper van.
Yeah.
So it is doable, and it is a good option. And if you come in these countries, campsites are really cheap.
Oh yeah.
If you stay in those countries, free camping is not.
This is what I wanted to ask. So where are the campsites are cheap?
So the Balkans are
and what does mean cheap? Cheap is how much is cheap?
I'll give you an example. We stay in campsite. We pay €5 only a night.
Beautiful.
With electricity and water, shower, bathroom.
It was hot, but because it was hot in the country, but
but it was like €5 maximum. You go from €5
to 20
to €20 maximum.
It is Macedonia.
No. Montenegro, Albania.
Macedonia was cheap too. It was €10 per night.
Macedonia for now is the cheapest that we found, but Albania and Montenegro, they were really nice people, and very, very genuine food because they are not in the rule and regulation of the European Union yet. So the food, the quality of the food is still like really good. And just to give you an idea, the other night we went out for dinner. Normally we don't go; we cook in the campervan and we eat our stuff. But they say let's give it a try, and we ordered so much stuff, and like 2 beers for us, big one, like on draft, just to give you 3 juice for the kids. The kids, they got a hamburger, cheeseburger,
which we never eat, but that was the only option. But the meat is so good.
But they were huge, really huge, and they put like a lot of vegetable and like French fries. She got just a plate of meat, regular meat. And anyway, long story short, we spent €28 for everybody.
Really?
For 5 of us.
And we had 3 salads too. So
wow.
And this is here in Macedonia. But instead Croatia is expensive. It's cheaper during the fall, winter, but then you have less campsites open. Yeah. But they bother you less if you free camp. You can't free camp in the summer. But we ended up spending also €80 per night. So
Croatia, €80 per night for campers.
Because Croatia, it's very, very well known in Europe.
It's easier
during the summer. If you go during the autumn and fall season or winter season, it's a different story. You pay half of the price.
But I think we never spend less than €30 also in the winter, so it's still going to be a little more
higher, but it's less. And it was amazing because there was nobody. I mean, literally was nobody, and we were only us.
And we did free camp a couple of times. But so as you go down, it gets cheaper.
Yes,
that's the cheap. No, we never spend more than €20. Some campsites, it's based on the camper plus the people. So you're 2, so it's even less. But we're 5, so for us, €20 is really cheap.
Yeah, for you, if you go there, you spend probably €10 because we are only 2, so it's like
depends on sometimes on the size.
We are vegan. For us, we don't eat meat, cheese, so we eat just.
That might be interesting because these countries are all based. Their main foods are all, but they all have a lot of salads, but they do a lot of meat.
I usually don't eat.
They have the farmers markets, and on those farmers markets,
Yeah.
But if you go to the restaurants, they have a lot of meat dishes because we don't really eat that much meat. In fact, we had a little too much lately. We usually eat it like once a week and not. But here's like we are doing videos where we talk about the food. We're doing like restaurant videos where we show, what we eat. So we are stuck with the meat dishes because it's like the main thing in most of these places.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
They're like, oh, it's all meat.
We ask what is the traditional like plate or something.
Meat.
And everybody said meat. Meat,
hams,
meat, everywhere.
So it's like, oh, okay, more meat, yay! And the other night, in this the only restaurant that let us eat, it was all hamburgers, which we never eat hamburgers.
Yeah, in Albania, I usually don't eat. I eat meat maybe once a month, something like that.
So you're moving in the right direction.
So in Albania was difficult to find. They didn't have much choice in vegetable. Some places you couldn't even find. Like normally, I like broccoli or cauliflower, and nobody has it. Nobody has it.
A little boring cooking the
same.
Lots of tomatoes right now. Tomatoes.
Cucumber. They go by season, and that is a good thing. But you don't find many options based on the season. So right now they have cucumber and tomato. For fruit, they have banana, peach,
apple, green apples mainly,
and
apricots,
and
plums.
That's it.
Grapes, they're very good grapes. So
but you cannot find, like we realize that living in the US, unfortunately, we got spoiled because the US, you have everything.
Every time.
You go to the grocery shop and you can find any kind of fruit, any kind of vegetables, and no matter what, if it's November, December. So in a sense, it put you in more awareness to realize that the food, it grows by the season. And if you eat the food in season, you have more energy because it's what you're supposed to be.
So yeah.
And tell me, you're going now in Turkey, and do you think to continue further down, like what it is there down Africa?
I actually want to go this way. My idea is to reach Mongolia. Yep.
So I even want to open the map.
From Turkey, you have to go in Kazakhstan. You go Georgia, Kazakhstan, and you reach Mongolia.
But you can't do it in the winter. You've got to wait till it's a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Why you cannot do it in winter? You think it will be really winter?
Might not be able to handle it.
It's too cold, especially for the kids during the winter. It's really, I mean, Kazakhstan can be really harsh.
And where you're going to spend the winter? Turkey.
I don't know yet. We might go to Bulgaria because there is
we didn't decide yet.
Worldschooling meetup there, so we might go there.
Are you going in Banska for skiing? No.
Bansko, yeah.
Banska to Amy. You're going there?
Yes.
We are thinking of going there. Yeah. There's a meetup in Turkey in fall, so we were going to see if we could join at least part of the fun there, and then so be with other families that are in our same lifestyle. And then because our visa, it's 3 months in Turkey, so after that we have to decide. So maybe we go to Bansko and just do another Worldschooling meetup, so it's more people with same.
Are you sure about visa in Turkey? Are you sure it is 3 months visa in Turkey?
It's only 3 months.
90 days. Yeah. They give you 90 days, and that's it. And after you have to go out of the country.
So I'm not sure how long you have to stay out to go back in, but then we can just probably go back in and cross from there. And
we were thinking to wait like January or February, and in March we start going that direction. If everything restriction wise they allow us to continue.
The other option is going to the northern countries if it's normal, which I'm not sure.
Northern, you mean like Denmark? I was speaking with Jesper last week, and Denmark now is no restrictions, all good.
Yeah.
Summer. COVID is on vacation. He's in Australia right now, right? He's with you because you're in winter.
Yes, because we're in winter. That's why he's here. Exactly. Yes. Do you know the Worldschooling pop-up meetup in Egypt? There is a girl who is doing this in Egypt. Louis.
I don't know her. I think we're friends on Facebook. I saw that there is one, but I think it's a little too much driving for us, maybe. And we can't plan that far ahead because we don't know what's going to happen with restrictions and all that.
And if we drive there is some places they told us that we have to be careful right now with the situation that we can, because by land you have to pass some places that they are not very friendly, let's say, right now. So in order to reach Egypt, so it's like, you know what, let's just stay on this side until everything calm down and maybe we go.
And plus, there's plenty of
you're doing in Georgia, yes? Georgia.
I would like to go, yes.
I'm looking at Georgia also. I can stay in Georgia for a year with no visa. It's allowed.
Oh,
Russian citizen, yeah, no visa.
I think they need
we are Australian, Russian, and my son, he has also French passport. So now we are.
You have a few options.
Yes, I was thinking to drop Russian citizenship when Putin started to make all this bullshit, but then I decided, okay, I will keep it just in case. Just let it be. And now you see, it's good.
You never know which country is going to be useful, so don't drop anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tell me, really, you are traveling now since 2018, and you had been in Mexico for how long time? Tell us about Mexico, please.
So we went to Mexico. We've been to Mexico a few times, but
because when we live in the US, we were living in Arizona, and Arizona, it's really, really close. Literally, from our house, it took us like
4 hours.
4 hours to get to the border. So we were crossing every year and going Mexico for vacation.
Did you drive there?
Yeah.
We just to close by.
We were driving across the border with our car and stay on the other side because it was much cheaper than the US going on vacation for a family of 5, and the sea was beautiful, the food was good, and the people were amazing. So that's why. So that was the first Mexican experience for us
as a family. Yeah, I went before.
And me too.
But anyway, so this year we went back to the US in January because the border, we could still fly without needing a test.
And because her mother, she lives there.
So we decided it was winter. We were stuck with the camper. We couldn't move.
Mother lives in Mexico.
No, she lives in the US.
In the US.
So we flew to the US.
Phoenix, Arizona, where we used to live before.
Because between the change of president, there was this gap where they didn't care of having a PCR test to enter the country.
No. The story was that we didn't know what to expect when we were arriving there.
Yeah, but we didn't do the PCR test.
And the cool thing and sad thing, because the news, they tell you all the story. We flew from Croatia to the US. And when we landed, they asked us the passport. We showed them the passport. They said, welcome home.
That was it.
They even took our temperature. Can you imagine that? They didn't ask anything. They just let us in, and that's it. It's.
So we got back there. We stayed there for about 4 months between Arizona. We kind of jumped all the states that were a little more open. So we were in Utah skiing. We went to Arizona. We went to Florida. And then we had a flight out to go back. We were going to fly into Albania, and then Mas was going to go get the camper van in Croatia because we were trying to avoid doing PCR tests. So we had bought this flight, and then he was going to do the PCR test because Croatia required it. But just a few days before our flight, they changed the law. So we had to, everybody had to do the PCR test because we were flying through Germany. So we got really mad about this because we're like doing all this big deal to make sure our kids don't have to do a test. And here we are stuck. So Lainey from Project World School had just said that she was going to do this Project World School Summit again. And we've been to 2 already. So we're like, what if from Florida, it's really cheap to fly to Mexico. So we're like, what if we don't go back to Europe because everything was still closed and we actually go to Mexico?
So this show you, remember what you want to say? How flexible we become, because we weren't like this.
We were never going to do something like that.
And then not so easy like that. So we realized that we are really adjustable, but depends of what we want to do, where we want to go, and not only us, the kids. And the more you follow your intuition and your feelings, and you trust the process in doing that, everything goes in the right place.
Yeah, so we ended up getting to Mexico instead of we left the same day of the other flight, but we just caught the one from Mexico instead. We went to Mexico. We stayed in the Cancun area because that's where our flight came in. Mm-hmm. We visited some Maya ruins. We did a few things there, and then
there is video on YouTube, guys.
Yes, we have videos about Mexico, and then we flew to the other side of Mexico in Zihuatanejo. There's videos of that too. And
so just to give you an idea, Cancun is here and Zihuatanejo is on the opposite side.
We lived there for a year. We've made 2 films there. One, you know the area. We lived in Playa for a year. Yeah.
So anyway, we went there. We did the summit. We ended up staying a few.
Now, this Mexican stuff was now during this.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
So actually, when we got there, I think the part that is suffering more from this now new situation is Cancun, all that area, Playa del Carmen, because all the Americans fly there. All the Europeans that want to go to the US fly there. So it's become this like kind of meeting area. And so that's
because
why
they didn't have to do the test and they can stay, because we met so many couple in the place where we stay that one of them
is American,
were from US and the other one were from Europe, and they were meeting in Mexico.
So then they could fly to the US with them.
And this happened right now, guys. It's not like
a month ago
during the COVID peak, let's put it this way. And you should see how many people they were in Mexico.
It was so busy. And then
everywhere.
And now the Yucatan Peninsula, or at least part of it, or Quintana Roo, which is where Cancun, Playa del Carmen are, is all red. It's all red because everybody went there, and now they're implementing more restrictions because of, everybody's scared of COVID, but they are not scared of going to Mexico. So it's kind of interesting. And it was interesting to see some of the people that were visiting from other countries, the way they acted because they were in Mexico and they felt they could do whatever. But then if you go see them in their own country, they're not that way. So anyway, if you go on the other side of Mexico, most of it is green because nobody goes there. I mean, not as many, let's put it that way. So when we were in Zihuatanejo, then we went to Cuernavaca, we went to Acapulco, we went to Cuernavaca, we went to the Valle de Bravo because Mas is a paragliding pilot. So he went paragliding.
Wow. Paragliding pilot.
And it was normal there. It was just, you have to wear a mask to go inside. So Albania keeps on being the one that's the most normal, in my opinion, because also in Mexico, you still have to wear a mask. Kids can't go in the grocery store with you in most of them.
Really?
Yes.
Kids not allowed. And some shops too.
stop us like several times and say, I have to stay out with the kids, and she can go inside to buy food or whatever.
In Zihuatanejo, they never stopped me, but I never went with my youngest. I always took my oldest, and I think 12 and up, they can go in. So, and my kids look older, so I think they didn't even question it. But I'm pretty sure if Luca came with us, he just never came. They would.
They stopped us one time, and
they stopped us one time. We were like, we don't even want to risk it.
We try to avoid any argument and any problem. So it's like, let's say we are really easygoing. Yeah. We don't want to.
So we just did it by ourselves.
We adapt based on the country and the regulation that they.
We are respectful. I mean, we don't approve of many of these things, and we don't get it. But if we have to wear a mask, we're not going to be like, I'm not wearing a mask because I don't believe in this. I wear it because that's not my home country.
We realize that there is really no reason to get in an argument and fight, because especially with people, they are very close-minded. You're going to start like a fight that they never ended, because they never want to see your point of view. And we're not gonna see their point of view. And if you want to fight, it's a different story. But if you want to just live easy and enjoy yourself with your family and your kids, just
that's all we want. We don't want to.
Yeah,
and we
go.
What's that?
Go ahead.
I think that the main problem here is not the mask and not the vaccination. It is all these things. They are just leading to the total control. May think it is this QR code, this vaccine passport, and this digital document which they want to scan everywhere, in the restaurants, in everywhere. This is the main thing.
Yeah. No,
because
I think the main
you just come in the restaurant where you had never been, and you show your passport, and they say to you, "Hello, Sarah and Massimiliano." You don't want them to know who you are. You just came to. This is the main issue, and this vaccination actually it was always so private thing. I had never in my mind to ask someone if someone is vaccinated from something. It is personal. You want to do it, you do it. You don't want to do it, you don't do it. It is so easy.
Yeah.
All this, it is just to control people, nothing else.
Create division between people.
Exactly. Yes. Divide and rule. This strategy is so old, like the world. Divide and rule. And that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me please about the education for kids. Do you follow? You have 3 kids. How old they are?
They're 5, 12, and 11.
5,
and
12.
Yes. When we left, our oldest were in school. We took them out of school. Our youngest wasn't. And we brought our books with us because we're like, oh, we're going to follow the books. We couldn't let go of the whole schooling system. We're like,
it was a process, that one too. We realized like so many things that like change along the way.
So we had these books and we had these huge fights. Oh, you have to do this. And they're like, no, that's not how we did it in school. And so we would have these humongous fights while Mas was driving the camper, and he's like, what's the problem? It was very exciting.
But because at that time, the mindset was that we're supposed to stay 1 year in this adventure, and after the kids are supposed to be in school
back
again.
to school. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so we had the idea. One of the teachers, she was following us, and once a week we have a Skype session with the kids to check at what point they were and what school they supposed to do, each program, and she gave us a favor. So she actually put them in school, like they were physically in school, but they were traveling with us.
They were registered.
Mm-hmm. They were registered.
So anyway, at one point, one night, I couldn't sleep, and I was in one of the Worldschooling group, and I was like, okay, this is not working. So I'm gonna just ask what people do. So I asked, and I got like 50 responses.
Yeah.
Like
They don't do anything.
Between who does nothing, between like so many options that were not use the books that you got from school.
Yeah.
So the next day we just were like talking about this, and that's when we decided also go to the Project World School Summit, the first one we went to, which was in Thailand.
Yeah.
And we're like, why don't we donate the books and we do one of these things we suggested?
So we found a school along the way, and we donate the books. They were really happy because they didn't have this kind of stuff.
They're in New Zealand now.
They're in New Zealand, and
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. So anyway, we start looking into all these various options that people said, and then we just a few days after we flew to Thailand to do this summit.
But it was a
problem
for us. We realized because we felt guilty, and we felt all the judgment and all the things from our parents, from our friends at home. And because it was a process, like I want to add something from the beginning. Leaving from Italy, that was the main problem at that time, because everybody thought we were crazy. They told us, "Where are you going? You have a good job. Why are you leaving? Are you crazy? You have 2 little kids." After 2 years that we were living in the US, everybody were calling us on Skype and ask us we can help them to move from Italy to the US. It was insane. So people shift because they saw us. They saw what we were able to achieve getting out from the system and expand your vision and your mindset.
Well, not the system, but that system.
That system, yeah.
Because we got another system.
Because you open to the possibility, you can see through the door a little bit more, and you see the little bit more piece of the puzzle, and you say, "Oh my gosh, I can do this. Why I just limit myself?" It's insane. And the second time, it was exactly the same thing, because when we left the US, everybody told us the same exact thing. Are you crazy? Now you have your position built again. You have a nice house. The kids are in all these activities.
You have your cars.
You have your cars and everything. Why you want to put yourself in that situation? Because when you are, unfortunately, in the system, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much stuff you have, you don't see the possibility, because you get in a habit of doing the same thing over and over and over, and you don't explore your possibility. In fact, in this process that she was telling you, it was amazing change, not only for us. What we brought as our attention, our awareness, was that the kids, they were changing without us imposing them, or the school imposing them. Because we had, let's say, give an example, practical, that we have problem with Cosimo when he was going to school. Cosimo is the oldest, now is 12. And he never want to read the book. He would never want to do a book report. It was a struggle all the time. And in this year, the first year, that's why we decided to drop the school completely, because it's not useful.
As soon as we left,
yeah,
he started reading books like they were like you eat candy when you really like it. He just never stopped reading.
And
it was boom, boom, boom,
we
boom. We
never say anything. And it just got, I was amazed. It just got this book, 800. I just that in my mind because there was the first thing. So, oh my gosh. 824 pages. He read it in 3 days. He devoured.
What about it was? What was the book?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
He read all the series. We both read it together. I mean, I read it and then he read it after me.
Now they have this game in between.
Now we're reading another series.
Yeah.
Me, Emma, and Cosimo. So this is like 8 books, I think. And he finished all of them. Now he's waiting for the writer to write the next one.
And who's read the faster?
And now Emma is behind. I'm the last one. I read them after everybody. So,
and not only this one, what we saw, if we don't put our expectation, our control, our, I want to say, imposition on everything in them, everything goes in the right place. So what we notice, Cosimo became like that, and he never stopped reading. He loved books and just devouring them continuously.
Emma does
Is
too,
it
though.
real books or it is ebooks?
Well, books.
No, he won't read the book.
He refuses ebooks.
I found
real
this. Yes, I found this website. Actually, you can download all the books for free.
He doesn't want
He
that.
doesn't want it. He want a book.
He's like me.
Yeah, they loves books. And Emma, she became more creative. She started doing these things out of nothing, and she learned how to do knitting by herself.
Crochet. Cosimo learned crochet.
Now she has a sewing machine. We bring this sewing machine everywhere, and it's amazing what she does with that thing. And Luca, it's amazing how he started learning things by himself. He taught himself without nobody to go biking without the training wheel.
He taught himself to swim by himself.
He taught himself to swim by himself. One day he just took off the thing and he started swimming just like that.
We let him. Every time we try to say, okay, now we do this because we think this is a time to learn it, he refuses. But then at one point he will just do it. And we keep on hitting our heads and forgetting that he knows better himself than we do. And he knows when it's his time to do it. And so
he's teaching us crazy stuff every day. Every day.
He's the real world schooler because he never went to school. Yeah. So he really, he's deciding, okay, now I'm ready for this. And he does it.
And that's what show us, if you really leave your family and the dynamics in the family and you observe without interfere, you really realize that, oh my gosh, it's so easy and everybody's happy and everybody learn at their own time. Whatever it is. There could be something like physical, how to do a task, or it could be
play an instrument.
Yeah, psychological, it could be something emotional, but you have to give space and let the things run in their own way, unfold them.
Yeah, it was similar story with my son Nikita. He's 12. I have a daughter, she's 26, and my youngest son, he's 12. He's reading. I have big library at home, and now this is the issue for me. What actually I'm going to do with all my books? Because this is library. It's like family library. There are books which are 50, 60 years old. There are a few books which are more than 100 years old. It is really like, family treasure. And he's reading those books, real books. Now I don't know what should I do. And yes, I had the same issue. Like from the beginning, I felt guilty that we are not doing those books. We had all the books from the school, and I felt really guilty that how is this? We are not doing those books. And we are not doing those books. We are doing now like the projects. We filmed in Mexico 2 documentaries, first documentary made up to 32 festivals. We could not go anywhere because of these travel restrictions. And we won 5 awards. And now we are doing Now we are editing the second documentary actually about the world schooling, about how we met world schooling families in Mexico, how we became world school. So I have just to enforce myself to finish this. I will. And Nikita, he's working on the project with video, with Premiere Pro, with Photoshop. He's doing his researches and he's running his own YouTube channel. That's what we are doing. And you have a YouTube channel also.
Yeah, when we left. Wait,
what did you say?
How old is your YouTube channel? How did you succeed to make it, to promote it?
When we left, we started it, but we didn't do anything for it. We started with the thing we were going to post a picture a day. It was going to be like a photo diary on Facebook and Instagram. And so we were doing mainly that. And I sometimes was putting a video, but I didn't really, it was too much stuff already, but plus we were traveling. And then and we have a blog. So we were doing the blog and all that. But then we realized that a lot of people don't really read. And so we thought, let's try and work a little bit more on the YouTube channel.
But we didn't think about it.
We started after over a year and a half after to actually be active on it. We were in the Philippines and we started posting all the videos of the Philippines. Then we went to Thailand and we posted videos of Thailand. Then we went to Bhutan. We posted videos of Bhutan. We went to Nepal once we got stuck. We posted this video where we were saying lockdown in Nepal. It went viral. So there's over 100,000 views. And we went from having 30 subscribers to having 7,000. A lot of them are Nepalese because they believed in us.
They love their country.
And so we posted a lot of videos because luckily the first 2 weeks we were there, everything was still normal. So we just were doing videos on videos and videos. And then when we were on lockdown, I started posting them. So I had to write on the videos, this was shot before the lockdown, because everybody was like, which is okay, but they're all like, how did you manage to go there? How did you do that? And I'm like, no, it's before.
So we really start after that. We really start pay attention to YouTube and
we post the same days.
Yes.
Every week. We post twice a week.
Until then, we weren't even thinking about it because we were just doing the video for us.
Yeah.
Just to have the kids a memory of
the
place where we went, the experience that we did, and everything.
And it's still that too.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole purpose is that one day they will show it to their grandkids and say, hey, this is what we did. But now we pay more attention there, because there's also people that are watching them now and actually ask us information.
Yeah.
So we are constant on the 2 days a week, not the time, because depends on the country.
Especially right now that this situation, they ask us, how can it's possible you keep on traveling with all this stuff? And we try to explain people, it's like, it's up to you. It's not the situation or the system. If you let go of literally your fear and you open to the possibility, you really can do it.
So yeah, so now we post about our travels and we share, what's a grocery store in another country like. We do also a little bit of we show some restaurants because people are curious about these things that maybe seem obvious, but they clearly are not.
No, it's not easy. I mean, when you change country, it's not easy to the logistic, and you need to find a new SIM card for the phone because otherwise you are completely isolated. You need to find money to pay. We just learned today that, let's say, to go to Turkey, you need to have some money before you enter the country, because on the other side, nobody, you cannot find this family. They cannot find an ATM for like 40 or 50 kilometers there inside the country. They have to go in these places.
And we had the same problem on this lake, I think, right? Yeah, we couldn't. Yes. We need an ATM. We couldn't find one.
Yeah, and the problem is that they if you don't pay for this tag that you have to attach to the camper van, you cannot travel on the highway. And if you don't have cash, because you can only pay cash, nobody's gonna sell it to you. You cannot pay with the card, you cannot pay with a different currency. So you need to have some money, local money, in order to do it.
Yeah, when we crossed from Montenegro to Albania, they have a different currency.
Oh, yeah.
And we had euros from Montenegro. We only had 60 euros left. And when we crossed, there was so much traffic and we were like, oh, well, we'll find an ATM. Our Wi-Fi was, we were able to buy the Wi-Fi on the border.
On the border, yes.
But we saw that in order to get money, we had to go to the city, which was in the middle of traffic. And we really wanted to go and look for a campsite. So we're like, we'll find one along the way. There's no ATMs. We ended up having, luckily, the last 50 euros that we could use to pay for our dinner because we ate at the restaurant. And the campsite, it was like precisely the money we needed because, there was no ATMs. And I'm like, where do I get an ATM? Oh, you have to go back to the city, which was 30 kilometers away. Yeah. But you give for granted that you're going to find one in every corner at a gas station, like in the US.
They don't accept cards?
No.
Only cash?
Many places they don't accept card,
or they'll add a little fee if you pay by card.
but
so
not many.
Not many. Many just say no card.
You need to have a big city or a big place. Otherwise, nobody, even a restaurant, they don't accept card.
Yeah, this restaurant we were at, they're like, no, we don't have a card yet.
Yeah,
everybody pays cash.
Yeah.
So
campsite.
You have to think of all these things.
Yeah, the logistic of things, because they don't really have, because there are small places, and to have an ATM or the machine to get the card, the Visa or whatever card you have, it takes money. Some places they are so away they don't have even like Wi-Fi connection. We found ourselves in many places they said that Wi-Fi, and there wasn't any.
Yeah, we were in this campsite when you were writing to me.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have the SIM card because we arrived and we weren't able to go to town.
Yeah.
The campsite had, we have Wi-Fi. Well, you have to walk to the restaurant if you want Wi-Fi, because there's no Wi-Fi where we parked.
Yeah.
Or you have to park closer to the restaurant in order to have the Wi-Fi. And sometimes it's not even strong if there's too many people in the campsite. So
that is the other problem. We noticed that even if you are close to the Wi-Fi router, and there is too many people, forget about it. It's not going to work. So
there's a lot of logistics that sometimes you don't think about.
And Tesla Wi-Fi. What is the name of Starlink? Is it the name? Elon Musk created some kind of the Wi-Fi which you can take with you in the desert, in the field, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. We have
a
router built in the camper van that you buy, but you need to buy the SIM card with data on it. We put it inside the router, and wherever we go, we have our own Wi-Fi connection. But if you are not able,
Tesla is something different. With Tesla, he has already this thing. You don't need to buy anything. You have to pay him like monthly. I think it was monthly, something like $100 or something. So he's selling the same device for about $500, I think. And this is your device which you carry with you everywhere. And then it is monthly payment for $100 for the same connection. This is some kind of new. I think it is Starlink. I will send it.
Are you sure it's gonna work everywhere? That is the question, because in some places
they said about United States. They said that they are covering United States, and that this year they are going to cover Mexico. I don't know about Europe. I just did not check.
Yeah, that is the problem, because many places they are so secluded that you're just wasting money, because it's better to have, we learned this one traveling, it's better to have a SIM card from the place that is more strong connection and reception.
Yeah.
Because we tried the first year with our card from the US, because most country, they give you the international fee, and wherever you go, you are covered. But in most places, it work. We're just wasting money. So we tried this solution. So wherever you go, you get a SIM card of the place, and it's much better.
Yeah. So now we. But every country
it's much cheaper too.
Every country is different, because in Montenegro they give you 500 gigabytes. For a month.
For only 15 euros.
In Albania, they give you 20 gigabytes. And here it's 10.
Yeah, but you pay less.
For 2 weeks.
We pay 100 dirham, that they are
like 2 euros.
2 euros. It's nothing.
So, and it's cool. We learn new things this way.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
A little more adventurous.
Yeah.
We like adventure. Except when we're
What
tired.
are you doing when your car is braking? Did you have any issues with your camper van? No.
We just did an oil change, but it was because we thought it was time for the oil change. So we just went to
is it any rules from country to country that you have to do something with your car? Like in Mexico, you can enter for 6 months only, and then you have to leave. You have to take your car out if it is US plate.
We have our
No,
Italian.
it's not. That is not true either. Because if you buy, because the problem is it's a local insurance. But if you buy a local insurance in Mexico, and you register your tag at this office, they told me you can stay longer. You don't need to stay 6 months.
Okay.
It's because the car is not registered in Mexico. That's what's the problem. If you keep your license plate and everything from the US, yes, it's 6 months only. But if you go to this office, it's like what is the name in the US for where you go to renew the
registration?
Yeah,
office.
registration office, something like that, and you pay for the insurance, Mexican insurance, and you register your tag, you can stay as much as.
But in these countries, we have an Italian citizenship, so we don't. Well, except when we get to Turkey, but up to now we didn't have. They don't even stamp us.
They ask you whenever we pass a new border, they ask us only the license and registration
and insurance
of the vehicle. They control if everything it's in.
If it is not stolen.
Our insurance covers every country except Albania, where we bought, and most insurances don't cover Albania, so you actually buy it at the border.
Yeah.
Or in another
Russia
and another one, I can't remember, but that's it. It covers every other country in Europe.
So wherever we go, we are fine.
We just need this green card, which is white now, but it's called green card.
Yeah.
And what are you doing with the travel insurance? Do you have travel insurance?
No.
Never had it.
We decide don't be afraid of this kind of stuff.
And every time we had to go to a doctor, it was cheaper to just go rather than send it to the to the insurance and have it reimbursed. Like I think the first doctor we went to was in the Gili Island. We spent like $5 with the medicine because Luca had ear infection.
But most of the time, I fix everybody. It's what that was my job in the US and
yes. What is your job? Now tell me how you are doing all this. What is your job?
Yeah, it was a process. Again, I was a physical therapy in Italy, and after a little while, I decided to do osteopathic medicine. That is more like myofascial release, craniosacral, all this kind of stuff. Incorporate everything together. And after that, I realized there is more than just muscle, bone, and all this kind of stuff. So I learned Chinese medicine, herbology, and 5-element, qigong, all this kind of stuff. I traveled several times in China learning this with different people. I even work for almost a month in Beijing at the hospital doing Chinese medicine and 5-element. It's where I learned. Yeah.
Wow.
And after that, I still learning and processing all this kind of stuff. I started learning shamanic practices and incorporate that.
Did you learn it?
That's where we were in Thailand,
and then Bali for 3 years.
That was the first workshop, and after I did a 3 years program in Bali to learn these practices. And after in our travel, we met different shaman. We interviewed them, and I met an oracle. Actually, it was the oracle of the Dalai Lama in Bhutan. And I had him to perform a ceremony on me to see how it works and everything. And that's why I want to go to Mongolia, because in Mongolia, apparently, they have these reindeer people. And there is the oldest shaman lady that she said she's 93 or something like that. I would love to talk to her.
Oh my God, it is so interesting. It is so interesting.
So that's why we don't like to go to the doctor.
No.
Whatever we have, I take care of it.
And is it your business now? Do you do anything online or what?
He does a coaching.
Yeah.
He doesn't advertise, but he tries to. The purpose is to coach people to heal themselves and not have to rely on medication for everything.
After practice for a long time in between Italy and the US, in the US I was seeing like 16 people a day, every day. I realized that the purpose is not that you go to the doctor or wherever you're going, the therapist, but you give your power away. It's the opposite. You have everything that you need in your body to heal yourself. And it's not me fixing you, it's you fixing yourself. So my point is not, I don't want to do therapy anymore, physical therapy, let's say, like that. Could be Chinese medicine, whatever it is. I want to show you people that they can do it for themselves, but they have to expand their mind in order to open to the possibility, because otherwise it's a lost war.
Super. Actually, I don't go to the doctor either. We don't really. It is exactly what we are doing, but on the other side. We are vegan, we are exercising, we are doing yoga, we are staying positive. That's it.
Yeah.
Finito. No doctors. Doctors, they're useless. They just give tablets, medicaments. They just making business. This is, you know what I found? I just understood that everything what they're just making business with the medicaments because they need someone whom they will sell everything from the pharmacy. They just need clients for the pharmacy. They need clients for the doctors. That's why they teach us totally different things which are bad for our health. And we are getting sick, and then we are coming to the doctor and to the pharmacy. It is like a locked circle. So
Depends what condition you have, because I noticed this one, that for the chronic condition the person has, it's the solution is not the medication. I think Western medicine, it's really good for how do you call it when something happened right away?
For emergency.
For emergency, yes. For emergency, I think it's the best that you can have. But the medication, what they study, or the pharmaceutical, they're coming from, the people that don't understand that, they're coming from the herbs. The problem is they just they isolate a molecule of that specific herbs. And that is the problem. Because when you take only the molecule and you ingest it, it's just going to shut down only one system of your body. They don't equilibrate like herbs does. When you ingest a decoction of herbs, it's an equilibrium because it's coming from nature. And nature has everything energetically wise that create this equilibrium inside your body. So it's not going to affect only that organ, a specific organ that got healed. It's going to affect the entire 5-element cycle. When you get the molecule from that specific medication that isolate in the laboratory, it's going to create an imbalance inside of your body because it's going to affect only that specific organ without taking care of the other. So the Western medicine is not bad. It's the approach on the long term in a chronic condition that is the problem. Because most of the medication that they give you, they are tested for a short period of time. But most prescription, unfortunately, they give you for a long period of time. So they don't know the effect in the body. So I don't think there is right or wrong, bad or good. Everything has to be, I want to say, look in the moment. and see if it's a good thing for your system or one of the systems that you have in the body, and which I think, for my perspective, is supposed to be a collaboration. Otherwise, again, it's a fight from Western and Eastern medicine. Instead, if we can collaborate together, that was amazing. We could do amazing things.
And now imagine they're offering you to go get vaccinated. Oh my God. If you're full of all these knowledges, and now they tell you, go get your job. Funny story. Can I follow somehow what are you doing? Do you have any I don't know, anything online, anything to read, to learn about those shamanic things? Do you have
Sorry, because you break. I don't know. I don't understand the question.
Do you have any website of what you are doing? I would like to learn about those 5 elements. Also.
No, he keeps it secret. He doesn't want to make a website. He talks to people, and then he tells them, are you interested? You can call me. Because a lot of time people say they want to heal themselves, all that stuff, but then they don't really, because they don't do the step to call him. So he doesn't do it. He didn't do a website, didn't do anything. He doesn't advertise himself. He works with who really wants to work with him.
Because the thing is that the shaman doesn't go advertise himself, right? It's just there, and they receive what they need to receive, because it's a learning process. Every time I work with somebody, I realize that.
Hello.
This is Luca.
Hello, Luca.
Hi. They want to go to the pool now.
Yeah. So I realize when you work with somebody, you need to learn a lesson too. It's not one way thing. So every time you receive a patient or a client or whatever you want to call it, you need to learn something, because I think you are ready to receive that energy or electromagnetic field, whatever experience it is. And I realized throughout the year, people that were coming to me, they were changing based on what I learned from them and what it was their understanding.
It is so interesting. I don't even know what are those 5 elements. 5 elements, it's 5 elements: water, fire, ground, air, earth, air, and cosmos. This is 5, yes?
Depends on which tradition and which school you're coming from.
Everybody here. I'll depend. Wait a moment. I have to call my family. Just one moment. Никита, иди покажись. Всем и кролика возьми. Скажи, Александр Николаевич, извините на минутку, мы сейчас уйдем. Иди, возьми еще одного кролика. Иди сюда. Сейчас. Не пока. Скажи, ты сейчас придешь. Окей, сейчас. Маша, This is Bunny Kuzya.
And this is Bunny Masha.
And this is Bunny Masha.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
And this is Nikita.
Hello.
Hi.
And
Everybody here.
And there's like a big green water slide. You go you go down and then back.
Luca wants to go on the water slide. He's like, you had enough time to chat. Now it's my turn to go play.
You just climb up the stairs and then you
Luca, you are so lucky you are going for the slide now. We would love to go. We would just love to do it.
Like the green slide makes you go down, then up, and then down in the pool, the cold pool.
Okay.
So cool. Okay.
The big one.
Okay, now tell me. Last thing. Okay, last thing you will go to the pool. tell please some kind of advice to the people who are thinking about this, because I know that many of my friends, they will watch it. Those friends who are thinking, who are still scared. They want to go, but they're scared. Give them some advice.
It's not easy because I think, again, every situation is different. Depends what are the fear are and where they're coming from. It could be somebody has a fear to leave their family, their root, their country. Some people, they are afraid for the money problem. What are we going to do with the money and what is going to happen? Some people, they're afraid of leaving their job. Depends where the person intention and attention is on it. So everybody's different. That's why the 5 elements, because each person, it's in the each element, it's represent an organ in the body, and each organ has an emotion and feelings and a color and flavor attached to it, and depends which, I want to say, we are a combination of the 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of them, it's more relevant. And based on that, you have a different fear. Let's say I give an example. People, they're more lung related. They're gonna have strong and low energy on the lung, and they, I want to say, fear or emotion. It's the sadness. It's the you're gonna see that these people, they are more depressed. They are more less built in muscle or in bone in the body. And
I'll be right back.
So that is their more relevant fear, or let's say they have a hard time to let go of their family.
Mm-hmm.
So, or other people, they are more like liver oriented. People, they are more heart oriented. People, they are more spleen oriented. So you're gonna see it in what they eat, how they behave, what emotion they are more strongest in them, and from there you can have an idea of the situation they're in and watch what is more important in their life. So again, it's so, that's why I was doing therapy. I stopped doing it because you have to see the entire picture, and based on that, you have to help them to let go of their fear.
But can I say something?
Yeah.
So in the past 3 years, we met a lot of people that were thinking of doing it, didn't know what to do. We tried to give a little bit of suggestions. So now we created our little coaching program.
Yes.
For who needs, that little push, that suggestions, or I don't know, questions need to be answered, whatever. That is officially not online yet. We have already been doing it, but now we actually are going to make
we structured that.
We structured it. Mm-hmm. So in a few weeks, if anybody needs extra assistance, we officially will have this
we'll launch this
coaching program we're launching. So then,
and it goes in a range of options. So it goes from really simple logistics,
just
like
a little chat.
We were talking before, like about documents, visa, like phone, grocery shopping, this kind of stuff.
Whatever dilemmas.
And goes from release your psychological shielding that you have around this perspective of lifestyle.
So yeah, but the easy suggestion is, if you have any temptation of doing it, just go and do it.
Just do it.
Don't overthink it. You can always go back if there's something that, if you're not sure. A lot of people don't even sell their home; they just rent them out. because they want to go back at one point. So you don't have to sell everything. I mean, and also for the people, and this is another thing that they ask us, a lot of people say, oh, I don't have money. There's so many different ways of traveling. You don't need to go in 5-star hotels or travel business class. You can literally take a train, a bus. You can fly when it's low season.
You can do couch surfing.
You can do couch surfing. You can do workaways. So there's so many ways. We met so many people that travel just by doing volunteer work in different places. And that's how they pay for their, they don't have to pay, but they're working. And
we stay 2 weeks in Zambia and working and volunteering at the school over there. And
Zambia
we live
is in Africa.
Yes.
How you appeared there? Did you fly?
We fly.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Why Zambia?
Because we found a school that was asking for volunteers, and so we decided to go there.
So for 2 weeks, we just live with them. We ate with them. We spent the entire day with them. So that it was another option.
All our kids were helping. Luca was ringing the bell when it was break time. He was 2.5.
We cook for them. We make pasta for everybody. They were so happy. It was a really cool experience.
So there's so many ways that it's not what you see just, you travel with the planes and you spend so much money. You don't need to. We
find out that we can, another way of traveling in a very, very cheap way. It's house sitting.
Yeah. House sitting is another great way. So, and you most of the time they're beautiful homes.
Yeah.
So there's very many options, and there's no excuse when people say I don't have the money, because there is the ways to do it. So if you are tempted, you just should do it. Just go. And if you don't want to sell what you own because you're scared, just go for a few months and try it out.
And the more that is true, the more you let go, the more and you trust the process. The main thing I say all the time, trust the process, because everything goes in the right place at the right moment.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's like that.
Like what?
Like that.
Like left?
Like that.
Okay, now our kids decided that they want to go to the pool. So we have to trust the process.
Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
Can you please write for me the description of all what you want me to put about you, all your connections, or whatever you want me to put in the description?
I'll do it a little.
Everything.
Okay.
And thank you so much. And actually, we are going to leave Australia, and we are still deciding on this side where you are or Mexico. And you said about the workaway. I have invitation from one Tanzanian school from Arusha. I think we will go. Yeah, it is. You can also calling volunteers there.
Also in Zambia, they still need volunteers. So that's another school. It's in Simonga. So
send me the link, please.
I will.
So what is the option you said when you live in Australia? So you said Mexico and
in Europe.
Or Europe, because in Europe we have I have Russian passport, and I can restore my Ukrainian citizenship, and my son is French. So we can. The thing is, if we leave Australia, we cannot come back. This is the issue. So we are leaving one way. It is one-way ticket. That's why I'm.
That's exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah, just see.
Australians who cannot return to Australia because they put gap on the returning flight. It is like 30 people in the plane, and price for the tickets are from $10,000 and up. 40,000 Australians cannot return. So it is one-way ticket, because to stay here it is suffocating. It is just impossible. No. So we are now deciding on left or right. So we will follow you.
Albania for sure is an option.
And I'm also about getting the RV, the minibar.
If you want more freedom, come this way, because it's really cheap, and like
the
Albania,
Balkans.
It's free. I mean, it's like there is nobody out. I mean, everybody out, no mask. It's like
the only thing what is stopping me is that now winter comes. If it would be if it would be in the beginning of summer, I would have no one doubts that it is your side. But winter, and we want to leave now, somewhere in 2-3 months. I cannot do this. It is. I feel like I'm trapped in some strange reality to which I do not belong. I said already, it is not my reality. It is not my government. I don't know them. I'm just somehow, I don't know how I appeared here. It's not my reality. How are we gonna do? You're going to be in Turkey for winter, yeah?
Yeah, well, for fall.
For now. So maybe really Turkey.
Maybe that could be it.
Anyway, we are keeping in touch. And
Okay.
I will ask you for further guiding.
Okay.
Thank you
When
so
I
much.
will get my permission to leave this Polish state, I will ask for further guiding.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. And
Nice
enjoy
talking
the
to
day.
you.
Enjoy your swimming pool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. It was Sarah and Massimiliana, Italian couple traveling the world with 3 kids. As you can see, traveling the world is possible, even it is pandemics. So, if you want to travel, travel. Just leave your fear and take responsibility for your today. Thank you very much for watching. I am Roxanne Phoenix. I am filmmaker, musician, and vegan coach. Stay with me and follow me on the Facebook, on YouTube. And actually, this exactly interview, I will upload it on the YouTube in a few days, and you can see it there. Our YouTube channel is Golden Salamander Talks. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.